let's go ahead and get started on this DONDA album and CLB. So, if you guys tuned in last week, we were talking about the albums that we would listen to if they were to drop at the same time. Now, due to date drops, we ended up listening to Kanye first. Kanye dropped on the 29th
on Sunday
of August, yes. I feel like...
So even if we waited, we would have been damned.
So I feel like that was a great day for him to drop it. I don't know. That day, like when he dropped the album, I was just like, oh, that means that everything that's supposed to happen today is going to happen, because this album just dropped out of nowhere. And it's just like, out of all days for it to drop, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It was kind of like, oh, okay, it's going to be one of those days.
That kind of like makes sense.
And then it was a great album. We're definitely going to like some of the things that we did want to talk about was the album, because it was, I felt like it was a good project.
What was one of your favorite songs?
I'm going to pull up the track list real quick because I really like it.
Off the bat, I'm going to talk about Hurricane because I know that's
a really good song.
from Yandi, and my Kanye West believers know about Yandi. So yeah, Hurricane was definitely one that I enjoyed. I like No Child Left Behind. I just like that song, and it's bittersweet that it's so short, but it's one of those songs that you wish it was longer, and I kind of like love those songs. I feel like those songs are so, I don't know, they're almost more impressive sometimes than long songs.
Yeah, the shorter ones kind of give you just exactly what you need, and then you can just move on.
And they out.
Yeah. One of my favorites is called Lord I Need You. I really, really like that song. I just love how he like, there's like a vocal in the song that I'm really obsessed with. So that was a really good song for me.
And Jonah.
Oh yeah, that one's a really popular one too. I know that one's a good one. And then Believe What I Say, the one that he samples, the Lauryn Hill song.
Oh yeah, Doo-Wop.
That was another great song as well. I felt like this project was done correctly. So if you haven't, there's a clip going around that this guy posted that it was basically saying how Kanye kind of like stole from the like software, right? Is it from the software companies or something like that? Because they do like, it's like studies. They do like
starter,
They do like starter groups and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they're starter-ups. The starter-up tech companies, they're just starter, and then they do like almost like, what is it called? Group thinking?
Yeah, they do like they basically they basically like test it out with people. And then they're like, oh, okay, so let's maybe fix this. Or I heard somebody say that they didn't like this. Or in the survey, when they did it, they didn't like this, this, and this, etc. Right. So that's something that he is saying that Kanye did, and with the 3 different album listening parties that he had, which I think is genius, because I feel like when he saw the reaction for when people had heard, well, if you listen to the album now in its entirety, because I feel like he's dropped other songs. I was telling you that. Am I tripping? Because the one that the baby was on ended up being on the project too when I heard it again today.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about Universal releasing the album too early.
Oh, that's true, because that was something else that he was kind of like upset about, that they released it. But I feel like those listening parties that he did, we were all able to like listen to it, and then he was able to get the feedback from the internet and be like, oh, okay, this is good. Or even like, because there's going to be people actually in those rooms that maybe are hearing it for the first time. The artists are hearing it for the first time, and then they just say something about it like, hey, maybe we can change this. So, and then seeing the crowd react. And I know the third one, the album listening party. Listen, I knew that project wasn't going to drop the day that it was going to drop, because the listening party started mad late. There was no way we were going to be listening at the listening party, watching the listening party, and then the album dropped. Like, people would leave like, you know what I mean?
Use your mind, people.
Yeah, so as soon as I saw that, I was just like, there's no way. But we recorded the podcast that night, and I stayed up and literally watched the entire thing. And like, Marilyn Manson was there, DaBaby was there, Shenseea was on there, who was on the project, Westside was on there. Is it Westside or Conway?
I think, well, aren't they both on the album?
They probably are. I'm pretty sure it's Westside, because he's the one who just dropped a project too. Is he now? It's been a long day. It's been a long day, but there's a lot of features in this project. We have Lil Baby, we have a J verse that everyone is really excited about. That is a really good song as well. And like how House said, Hurricane is another popular
the baby,
song.
little.
And the thing is that he doesn't
Yachty.
have any of the. We don't know like who's who
Lil
in like
Baby.
these songs, but I know Lil Baby. How House said, Yachty is on. Is it Uzi on it too?
I think so.
I feel like Uzi has been featured in so many different projects lately. It's absurd. That man doesn't stop. Some of the other features that I liked was the one from Shensia. She's a Jamaican artist.
And Vori kills that hook too.
Let's see what else. So yeah, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. I feel like he was very smart in the marketing as far as the album listening parties. I feel like that's important because it makes fans feel like they're part of something. And that's something that like as fans you want to feel like as like a part of like the Kanye West Yeezy type of like, think about it. If you've been listening to Kanye since College Dropout, that's 20 years of listening to an artist. You tend to have a really big connection with this artist despite what they may have said, what they may have done. It's like, this is somebody that you have listened to and enjoyed their music for so long. So, of course, it's Kanye. So, Donda was a really good project, I believe.
What do you rate it?
Oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Oh, I keep on talking about it.
No, I wasn't ready for that because, like, I was going to kind of avoid it because I don't want to, like, give one because we're going to talk about both of them.
Okay.
No. Okay, so...
What would you rate it? There was
off of first listen and then the listen that tracks. I did today, I would say it's a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah, because I feel like it made you feel good. There wasn't cursing, which you don't always need in your music, especially hip hop. I feel like hip hop is beautiful enough that it doesn't need it. I feel like some of the instruments that he used were very smart. The sequencing was perfect. I feel like every single song goes into the next one so eloquently, and it's like it's Kanye, so like you know that we all saw. Like, listen, I feel you, Kanye. I'm a Gemini too. I was going through it too, and I didn't feel good until probably like that weekend, basically. Like, I felt like free that weekend, and then that day when the project dropped, like I just felt like so powerful that day. So I feel him, like, for him to have dropped it, and then it's like in coincidence with me feeling like myself and getting out of the slump that I was in, and then going into a new week with that project. To me, that was like very powerful. So I mean, had a little bit more time to listen to this project, and I enjoyed it. So yeah. That was my rating for that one. And then a couple days later, Drizzy said, I'm dropping CLB, which is short for Certified Lover Boy. Jav. First listen, what do you think?
I think that this is a good project. I mean, I enjoyed it. First listen, what I think is that it's better than Donda. That's the first thing that I thought of immediately. And then I also started thinking about, oh man, like, is this the time kind of like growing up when LeBron James clearly was the best player in the league, and like I was still holding on to Kobe because it's Kobe. So kind of like almost like the same thing with like, dang, instead I'm holding on to Kanye because you're right. I've been listening to him 20 years. So he's been influenced in so many ways, more than one. You know, I got his shoes. You know, like it's a lot of things, but yay, but. Damn, I think this Drake project, and it's you know, we are still in the Drake era, you know, like as much as people don't want to say it or not, but like almost like kind of like, damn, you know, like he's good, like let's start appreciating him. And like it's the same thing with like LeBron James, like they're arguably some of the people that are the best to ever do it, you know. And both albums, like, enjoy both albums. Like, I'm happy as shit we got both of these albums, you know, like definitely not like, oh, to one to block the shine of the other, but to me, I just like, I don't know. Also, it was kind of more on the vibe that I was on, you know, with Certified Lover Boy. But, you know, I was a little bit more turned. You know, Kanye is a little bit more holy. So, like, And not saying that I ain't, you know, but like, damn, it was just a little too much. I felt myself sliding out of Donda easier than I did with CLB, even though I still slid out. And what I mean by that is like I play my own shit, or there's a song I actually want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, just because I'm driving, because I like to listen to music. You know, I like to drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this cruise. So what did you think about the album on the first listen?
On the first listen, there was some tracks that I didn't get to listen to because I didn't get to like fully listen to because I was doing stuff. I like to listen to projects when I'm, you know, doing stuff around the house. So it was like one of the first things that I started doing once I took Bae for a walk and things like that. So I get to like, that's how I really get to listen to my music, and that's the best way for me to do it. But after the first listen, I felt like it was a really good project. I mean, it's Drake, you know what I mean? I also felt like once I finished it, I was just like, oh, wow, I was literally able to do my entire morning listening to this project, which I love, because the last thing that I want to do is to have to worry about what I'm going to listen to next. So I feel when an artist gives me a project, that's a difference. I love me a 27, 35, however long project, because that to me gives me the ability to just listen to something without having to worry about what's next. So that was something that I enjoyed about the Drake project, because I was able to do all of the things that I needed to do in the morning while listening to the project. So that was like my first thing that I thought of when I listened to the project. Now, as far as the music and the features, I love that he had all the features. We're going to talk about the billboards, of course. Drake did something that was genius, I believe, and I think everybody on the internet agrees with me as well when I say this, because he put billboards in all of the cities that the featured artists were in, and it was just like, hey, like for Miami, it was just like, hey, Miami, the biggest boss is on CLB. For New York, it was just like, hey, New York, the GOAT is on CLB. Then he did one for Thames in Nigeria, like, hey, Nigeria, Thames is on CLB. He did one in LA. He did one in Houston. He did one for all of the featured artists that were part of the project. And I thought that was so genius, because like somebody was saying how billboards, like you shouldn't spend your money on them, you shouldn't see them. But when you're somebody as big as Drake, people are going to take pictures of those billboards, and they're going to be everywhere. People are going to, like, when I saw the one of Miami, I was just like, where is this? I would like to go see it, because it's like, it's almost part of history. But then it's just like, I would literally just go to just take a picture, the same picture that they posted on the internet. So, you know what I mean? So that's why these visuals, they go viral. And that's why it was so important for whoever was in charge of that to have like gotten like crazy amount of money for it, because that was just genius. Like he is getting what he, you know, what he's getting paid for. So
yeah, exactly.
He's doing what he gotta do, or she, because we don't know if it's a he or she, whoever came up with that idea. So shout out to that person. I also think that another thing that was very smart when it came to marketing is Drake's mom was sending him flowers. I was saying I was Drake sending him himself the flowers. What if it was Kanye the whole time?
And with the notes, right?
Yeah, with like the notes, and then like, oh, one more day, and this, and that. I felt like that was another marketing tactic. Maybe not on purpose, but
the world may never know.
Yeah, because like he posted it every time. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, so the first time I saw it, that's what I thought. I was just like, look at Drake sending himself flowers. But so I felt like the marketing was really dope behind that project. And some of my favorite tracks include, of course, the Rick Ross one. Something that I have to point out is that a lot of the features, I felt like a lot of the people that were on the Donda album kind of like just jumped on, like they all jumped on the same flight to go record for Drake's project, because there were a lot of the same ones, because Dirk is on both of them, Lil Baby is on both of them. Who else is on both of them? Jay-Z is on both of them. Oh my goodness. I know there's a couple of there's a couple more. Am I tripping?
No, I think that's about right.
Yeah, there's like there's like a lot of the artists that were on Donda are, you know, working. Listen, I feel it. Listen. Get that money. Lil Wayne is also on this on Certified Lover Boy. He's the one with the With Rick Ross.
With the biggest boss.
With the biggest boss. Okay, so one of my favorite songs is Race to My Mind. Do not ask me why. Just listen to the song and you'll know why. Like, it is such a good song. I love me a Ty Dolla because Ty Dolla is another one who's on both projects. So Ty Dolla, love that song. I love anything Ty Dolla. The Dirk with Giveon, love it. I love a Dirk feature. It's so dope. And then something else that's cool about his verse is that he shouts out his ladies' cosmetics line. And then he literally mentions that the reason why he said it is because Drake does a whole bunch of streams and a whole bunch of people are going to listen to him. So listen, I love a man who going to support his lady even when it's on a song. Of course, I said Jay is on there. Travis Scott ended up being the Houston hero. I felt like that's one of the good songs as well. Thames is on there. That's one of my favorite songs. Fountains.
Yeah, a lot of people like that song.
Yeah, that's a really good song.
The people that I talked to and I asked, hey, what's the highlight? Or like, what's your favorite song on there? That's the song that they told me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, and I wasn't really expecting that from the people that I asked too. So.
Yeah, that was a good song. She was, for those that don't know, Thames is the artist who's featured on Essence by Wizkid, which is that song went crazy. I remember I heard it and it just went crazy and everybody was listening to it. It was the craziest thing ever. It was beautiful to witness. Shout out to Wizkid for that song. But yeah, so Thames is on that track. It's funny because I'm saying like all the songs, but it's because it's so easy to remember the names of the songs when the artist that is featured is on there. Because for me, it was be like, oh yeah, so and so is on this, and then then I can see the name there, as opposed to when you go to one of those projects that don't have the names. Because I know there's other artists who do the same thing they don't put the artist, and then you're kind of like, fuck. Who the fuck is this? Like, I know this voice, but like, I don't know for certain. And now I don't know what song it is. So I can go back to that song.
That 7 a.m. crazy.
That 7 a.m. is crazy. And then the I Miss You Too one, the one with Cutter.
Yeah, I like that one. I think Cuddy sound really good on there. And man, him and Jay don't miss. Him and Wayne don't miss. Him and Ross don't miss. And him and Future don't miss. And that's a fact.
Yeah, Future is on there twice.
Which I like that. I like he's been doing future features like twice. And I would like to see the Ross and Drake project. Give us 6 of those.
Just give me a taste.
Yeah. Just give us a little bit of those.
A little 5 tracks.
And then I would want Drake, Slime, and Future to do a tape together, like Thugga.
Wait, who?
Drake, Future, and Thugga.
Okay, Drake, Future.
To all do it, to do like basically not What a Time Part 2, but basically like on some shit like that, and then they just add in Thugga now.
Yeah, I mean I would like that. I mean I love Drake and Future. I feel like that's so fitting. Like even with Life is Good, like that's such a great song. Like I still listen to that song now because it just like, for me it's the Future verse.
It's Future for me.
It's Future for me. Like that's who does it for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this project because, as you can tell, I got a little bit more excited about it. 9.5. Shout out to whoever came up with the visual for the cover, because every single person has literally used that cover for something as far as marketing goes.